I might look a little tired to you, and I'm not really tired as much as in pain because I hurt my back. Well, this week was my topic, and it's changed a few times. The reason that this topic came to my head was because something happened to me recently, but I think that story is going to be better for next week with the topic that Geely wants to do. I know this Chris Brown and Rihanna thing has been huge on the internet, and everyone's giving their opinion, and everyone's like, she should leave Chris, or they should try to work it out, or I'm going to boycott his music, or I'm going to boycott her music if they get back together, or if he doesn't leave her, or blah, blah. There's all this stuff going around. But I'm not going to sit here and give you my opinion on what I think they should do. I'm not going to tell you, go boycott his music because he hit her, and allegedly, and don't, or boycott her music if she gets back together with him, or I'm not going to give you my opinion, really, on what I think they should do. Because I'm not them. The thing that I'm worried about is the way that I think younger men and women are going to look at this, or at least how they're going to learn from this. And that being said, I don't think that it is Chris Brown or Rihanna's job to live a certain way or to make decisions based on what the rest of the youth of America, needs to see. You need to teach your kids, basically, that these are real people, and they're making decisions, and just because they're making decisions and you happen to like their music or you happen to like the clothes they wear does not mean that you should be making the same decisions or that you have to make the same decisions. It's a weird disconnect. I don't know. I know it's a very serious issue. And not just for women. It's a very serious issue for men, and I think that often gets overlooked. Is when people think of domestic abuse, they often think of a woman being hit by a man. We often don't think of the men who are abused by their girlfriends or their wives. There are 7 women on this channel, but this channel isn't just about women. I think that it's important that we also remember that there are men and there are guys watching this channel and these videos, and all these issues relate to both sexes. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or whatever you consider yourself. There's a lot of psychology behind abuse. Someone doesn't wake up one day and say, I want to hit someone, or I'm going to kill my girlfriend. Or it usually starts off with them witnessing some abuse, them being abused themselves, them being in some kind of situation where there's a control issue. As a kid, you might see your mom or your father being beat or dealing with some kind of emotional abuse and think, I would never do that to anyone. I've seen what it does. I've seen how it ruins lives. There is a part of your mind that does take that in, as when I'm dealing with a relationship, or I'm dealing with an argument, or I'm dealing with some kind of conflict, there's a part of you that has seen, okay, physical altercation or emotional abuse, or, you just make that connection of the way that you deal with people is through this means, and it might not be the way that you go to immediately, but it's something that you've kind of been privy to. It's something that you've witnessed. And I think that this whole thing really struck me because, and this isn't something I talk about a lot, but I actually had an experience, I wasn't in a relationship that was abusive by any means, but I was with a really good friend of mine when she found out that her sister was murdered by her boyfriend. And it was a relationship where there had been some abuse previous. When she was pregnant, I think there had been some kind of incident. They had parted, but they had come back together. And for a long time, it was really hard for me to talk about, because when I would talk about it, I would always go back to that place of just when I heard my friends screaming, and we were 5 hours away from home, and trying to get her in the car, and being 18 or 19 years old, and trying to emotionally handle what was going on and try to be there for my friend, at the same time being so horrified by what was going on. They got in a fight, and he was drunk, and he had a gun, and they had their babies in the next room, and it was just a really, I don't even think words can convey how horrific that is. And if anything, you never want to see a friend of yours go through something like that. The warning signs pop up when you are with someone who's emotionally controlling, who isolates you from your family, who physically harms you in any way, and then, of course, says, I love you, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. None of this stuff is okay. We're not counselors, we're not professionals, but we can direct you to people who are, and if anything, we're here to just listen to you and to talk to you guys and to learn from you guys. Hopefully it's a reciprocal thing. So, I feel like I've seen the effects of it in my life, and the lives of my friends, and it's a very personal issue to me.